Happy New Year everyone, and welcome back here to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you 3 of my best tips for New Year's Day. Now before we get stuck into them, I just want to go through a couple of things with you first. First of all, if you haven't done so already, make sure you check out the latest video on my YouTube channel where I go through my brand new tipping guide and point system. So if you haven't checked it out already, there'll be a link to it in the description box below, and that just explains the new point system, just breaking it all down, the format of the tips I'll be doing here in 2021 on my YouTube channel. So if you want to go and watch it, get a bit more of an understanding, just hit hit the link in the description box below. So yeah, that's that covered. Also as well, before I get into the tips for tomorrow, just quickly want to recap on how our selection performed today. In the end, we just had one tip in the end, as the next best Envoy Para G was a non-runner at Punchestown. That was because his owner JP McManus unfortunately had a tragic death in their family, so they decided to withdraw all their runners. I send my condolences to the JP McManus family. You know, never nice obviously, especially at this time of year where it's all normally about family and being together. So yeah, my thoughts go to his family and the friends of the family member that was unfortunately taken from them. So yeah, that's why Envoy Para G didn't run at Punchestown today. Away from that though, we just had the one tip, and that came in the 250 at Newcastle. We went with Global Vision for Paul Mulrennan and James Tate. In the end, I think it was quite a snug victory in the end. The cheek pieces did seem to make the difference. Yes, he was a little bit keen at certain parts of the race early on, but they did seem to settle him at the crucial moments, you know, and he was always travelling quite strongly, and I always thought he was going to get up. One or two bits in the closing stages were a bit sketchy moments, you know. You thought maybe some of the field might just come back at him, but he stuck to his task well and won quite snugly in the end. And he had a nice little drift as well, out to 11-4. I saw in some places that he was as big as 3-1 not long before the off. So if you did get on those kind of prices, fair play to you. But it was a nice way to end 2020, and it's been a good year for us overall. We're well up in profit, and December has been a profitable month for us as well, and fingers crossed we can continue that into 2021, and with the new tipping system that we're putting into play here on my YouTube channel. So let's get into the 3 tips then for New Year's Day, and we're going to go to Musselburgh tomorrow for the 305, and this is always a traditional card. There's always a lot of good races on this card at Musselburgh. We normally have Cheltenham, but unfortunately that's been abandoned due to the weather we got in the UK at the moment. So yeah, Musselburgh is where we go tomorrow for the 305, the first tip of the day. And I'm going to be going with a horse here called Cool Mix, who's going to be an extra tip, and I'm going to recommend on the new system a 0.5 each way bet here. I think this horse, currently available at 5-1 with 5 places on offer with Skybet, is a great dirty each way bet. You know, it's kind of a bet to nothing. I think this horse will at least make the frame, and I think it's got very solid credentials. Now this horse is trained by Ian Jardine, and Connor O'Farrell is but for the ride tomorrow. Now this horse, if you actually look at his form so far this season, has been maintaining it at a really high level, and a lot of it has been stacking up quite nicely. Last time we saw him, he tackled 3 miles in the rehearsal chase at Newcastle, which was a good race on paper, won by York Hill in the end at 66-1, but you had some nice horses in there. You had Whatmore from Henry Daly's, you had Pim from Nicky Henderson, a couple of other nice horses in there, you know, and Cool Mix ran a very good race, I thought, to make the frame. So yeah, I think that was a good effort. And if you go back through some of his form at Wetherby, that's stacked up really well with Sky Pirate, Storm Control have been winners this season. His run at Aintree, where he made the frame behind Modus, wasn't a bad run as well. So a lot of good form to his name, and he's only run at this track once at Musselburgh, which actually came in this race last year when he finished 3rd to Nutswell, who's gone on to be a Grade 2 scorer since and has won many races since then, and looks like he could be a Grade 1 performer, or should at least take his chance. He's rated 159 now, so he's definitely up to at least competing in a Grade 1. So Cool Mix does bring a lot of smart form to the table, and I just think the way he's been running this season, off a mark of 132, it would take a career best to win this, but like I said, he brings some of the best form coming into into this race. And at 5 to 1 with 5 places on offer with Skybet, I think this is a great each way bet to nothing. And I'd be disappointed if he at least didn't go close to winning, but I can definitely see him not being out of the frame. So Cool Mix it is going to be our first tip of 2021. Going to be an extra tip there in the 305 at Musselburgh. We then stay at Musselburgh for the next best, which runs in the 335, and again we're going to be going with another 0.5 each way here, and this is currently available at the time of recording with Skybet, who are offering 5 places at 15 to 2, and that is the blame game in the 335 at Musselburgh for James Hewitt and Danny McMenamin, claiming a handy £3. Now this horse tomorrow is going to be stepping up in trip after a recent effort at the course which saw him finish in second place at Musselburgh. The form of that race has actually worked out not too badly, because Savi from Jim Goldie stable, who finished 4th in that race, has gone on to win her next start. She was a winner just before Christmas at the same track, so the form has taken a nice boost there, and this horse now is off a rating of 109, which I do think is very workable, and the way it shaped last time suggested that going up in trip might bring about a bit more improvement, and that's exactly what Connections are going to be doing tomorrow. This is going to be the first time this horse has tackled 3 miles, and Musselburgh is quite a generous 3 miles in the sense that because it's such a speed track, it doesn't take as much to get it as some of the other tracks that you have around in the British Isles. So that's going to help him, I think, as well. And with Danny McMenamin as well claiming £3 off his back, I think this is a good opportunity. He actually rode him last time in that race at Musselburgh because it was a conditional jockeys race. Before that, this horse has been running in some novice hurdles, you know, so he's still quite unexperienced in the handicaps, and that means he's unexposed and probably does still have a little bit more to come off his current mark. It's not a particularly strong race. It doesn't lack a lot of depth to it, or it lacks a lot of depth to it, I should say. And I just think 15-2, 5 places is a crazy price, and I think this horse should be vying for favouritism. I know Paul Nicholls is sending an interesting contender, obviously, and you always have to take note when Nicholls sends them up to Scotland. It's something that he does like to do at some of these big meetings like Ayr and Musselburgh, so one to take note of. But what she's shown so far, I don't think she's nothing special, you know, and I think the blame game can get the job done for us in this race, and I'll be disappointed if he can go close there. So that's the blame game in the 335 at Musselburgh, a 0.5 point each way play there as my next best of the day. We then go to the 340 at Tramore with a horse called Presenting Point, and this is going to be my nap of the day over the RSC. You can currently back this horse at the time of recording with Bet365 at 5-2. I'm going to recommend a 1 point win bet here. Now this horse is trained by Owen O'Grady, and Philip Hemright will be in the saddle tomorrow. Now the last time we saw this horse, he was a worthy winner, making all from the front that day off a mark of 92. The handicapper has had his say-so and raised him £7 for that victory, but he's still quite a lightly raced horse, and I would imagine he's got quite a lot more to come. If you go back through his form, he had a good effort behind all the chimneys at Turles, which was not a bad performance there at all, and that was probably a hotter race than he's been competing in last time out, and also as well he will be tomorrow. Again, this race doesn't look the strongest on paper, and I can't see why he can't follow up again, you know, despite nearly being top weight. So yeah, a lot to like about his chances tomorrow. I think off a mark of 99, he's definitely probably got a few pounds to still play with there, you know, and I'll be disappointed if he can take all the beating in this race tomorrow, because I think he's the one that they've all got to beat. And Presenting Point, if he can get an easy lead on the front end of things, which is often a benefit at Tramore, it often suits a lot of front runners, I just think Presenting Point will be a tough nut to crack, and that's why he's going to be my nap of the day, like I said, at 5-2 with a 1 point win only bet. So let's just round off the 3 final tips then for tomorrow. In the 305 at Musselburgh, my extra tip of the day is Cool Mix, 0.5 each way selection, 5 places at 5-1 with Skybet. In the 335 at Musselburgh, we stay there with a horse called the Blame Game as my next best of the day. Again, a 0.5 each way bet, 15-2, 5 places Skybet. And in the 340 at Tramore, my nap of the day, Presenting Point, 5-2 win only bet, a 1 point win only bet there. So they're the 3 tips for tomorrow's racing. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe here to my YouTube channel at LuckyLoaders15 for more videos. Also as well, if you want to follow me on social media, the best place to do so is using my handle, which is at LuckyLoader15 on Twitter. So make sure you follow me on there if you haven't done so already. And if you want to find out a little bit more about myself, my website is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. So please gamble responsibly. Hopefully we can have some winners to kick off the year in 2021, and we'll be seeing you soon.